All right, so let's talk about project management inside of ProLine. Now, I want to start by saying everyone really has a different definition of what project management means. So what I'm about to show you may not match up with what you think of as project management. Really, ProLine as a whole can be looked at as a project management tool. But specifically what I want to look at is just how we allow you to organize and keep track of your projects as they work through your process. And we do that using our pipelines here at the top, and then within each pipeline you have stages. Now, right out of the box, ProLine has everything you see here built out. We got our sales pipeline and insurance pipeline for those insurance process, or the insurance process, so projects that are going through there. And then we have the production pipeline for your production flow, from those won/approved projects into ordering the materials, scheduling the job, and then completion. And then we have the building flow as well. So we have a building pipeline. And you can actually grant access to specific members of your team to only certain pipelines. So if you have someone on your team that is just maybe your accountant, you can actually add them to ProLine using a limited user, so you don't even have to pay for their seat, and then you can give them permission to only view the billing pipeline, so they don't have to look at or get distracted by anything else. And vice versa, your sales team may not need to be involved in billing at all, or even production, depending on how you've split up your teams, and so you can just give them access to sales and insurance, for example, and then they don't even see anything else. Once something progresses on, it's out of their view. Now, you can also, there's some filtering. We're going to be adding more filtering down the road, but right now you can filter by location if you're a multi-location company. And then you can also filter by either looking at all projects in the account, or you can look at just projects that are assigned to you as an individual user. You can also look at, if you're an admin, you can look at individual team members by selecting My Projects, and then you can switch into their account. And so you can switch into their account and see just what is assigned to them and see how things are progressing for their projects specifically. Again, we're going to be adding more filtering to that in the near future, but that's what we have currently. Each one of these stages contain a list of projects. So you have all your new leads here in a stage, all your scheduled inspections here in a stage, so on and so forth. And then if you click on the gear icon on a stage, you're going to get you're taken to the triggers page. And the most common and the most commonly used trigger inside of ProLine is the stage trigger, which is triggered by moving a project from one stage to another. So if I can click and drag this to inspection scheduled. Now, typically I wouldn't do that. Typically I would, and that's kind of one of the things about ProLine is you can manually move projects, but a lot of this actually happens automatically based on other activity. So I can go to Tim, project details, then I can schedule a new inspection for Tim. So I will schedule an inspection here. We'll schedule it for Friday at 10 a.m. with AJ. Oh, here we go, 10 a.m. And so we'll schedule that. And then when I schedule it, that is what's going to move him over into inspection scheduled. Now you'll notice he's not here, and that's because we still have My Project selected. So we're going to go back to all projects because we reassigned that to AJ and we were in AJ's account. So we can see Tim now is here in the inspection scheduled. So ProLine, almost all of these stages, you can always override ProLine and move something manually, either here, or you can click in, move the stage here, or even go in, edit the project details and change the stage in the project itself. So there's lots of ways to change where a project is in the process. But right out of the box, ProLine is set up for most of this to happen automatically. So that's a good thing to know. But anyway, back to stage trigger. So as Tim's moving over, in this specific case, there's actually not a stage trigger. This is an event trigger. So an event gets scheduled, which moves over the project into the inspection scheduled stage, and then also starts the appointment reminders campaign. Whereas if we go back, we can look at this creating quote stage, and this has a stage trigger. So when we move Tim over, we'll say after his appointment, he gets moved to creating quote, then that's going to trigger, because of the stage movement, this create quote campaign, which does whatever we want it to do. In this case, it's just going to do a quick check-in with the customer to let them know that you're working on their quote. And so that's project management from a high level as far as I define it. In ProLine, now make sure to check out, I know a lot of people think of project management more from a calendar standpoint, like managing the appointments and the job schedule dates and all that. That's great. We have all of that covered in other videos regarding calendar views and scheduling and stuff like that, so make sure to check those out. Of course, we also have project management from a production standpoint, so we can always look at that. You can schedule jobs inside of ProLine using the event scheduler, and even send reminder campaigns leading up to that scheduled job to remind the homeowner to do certain things, or just to educate them leading up to those events. So all of that is also covered in ProLine. I want to be clear, but in this video specifically, I'm just going over more of, you might call it project organization. So we'll probably call this video project organization and management or something like that.